Aussie farmers are vowing to push back against the federal government's new ban on live sheep exports by targeting marginal seats at next year's election. The ban was made in response to a history of animal abuse and decline in demand. It will take effect by 2028, and the government has promised $107 million in support to help sellers adjust to a domestic market.
Make no mistake, the farming army and us and all our people behind us here are coming to get them. Old Albanese needs to look in his mirror because I'll be there when he's looking.
Oh. I mean, Farming Army is great. You have to admit that.
Oh.
Dr. Holly Ludeman is a member of Keep the Sheep. That's a group of industry representatives speaking out against this ban. She is also, however, a vet. Holly, why are you unhappy with this decision?
Well, there was a lot of us here this week, Waleed, that aren't happy about this decision. It's a poor decision that will impact rural communities in Western Australia, salt of the earth, truckies, shearers, veterinarians, farmers, and everything down to the sporting club and the pub and the IGA in these towns. We were here to talk to the government and plead for a full Senate inquiry, but instead this bill and legislation has been pushed through to appease to the extreme left of the Labor Party.
Holly, we've seen many leaked videos showing terrible conditions on these boats, and one that sticks out is thousands of sheep that died in extreme heat in 2018. But you've travelled on these boats. Is that not what you're seeing?
No, and that footage was shocking to everyone, including those in the industry, and it was actually in 2017 that footage was taken, yet strategically released to have the biggest impact it could. Now, I have sailed on board more recently than that, and in the last 5 to 6 years we have had significant reform through the regulatory system. We're not exporting sheep at times of year where there is a risk of heat stress. We have more space, independent ventilation audits and improvements in those ventilation systems, and we're seeing excellent outcomes.
How many vets are on board these ships, by the way, just monitoring the welfare of animals?
There is a veterinarian, an Australian government veterinarian, on each voyage that leaves Australia, typically from Western Australia, that goes to the Middle East.
But, I mean, we spoke to a vet from the RSPCA a while ago. Their concern was with vets on these ships being industry-sponsored rather than independent. Are the vets you're talking about independent?
So you're an Australian government accredited veterinarian. You're also licensed under each state as a veterinarian. So that's like saying if I do a job for a farmer, then I'm not independent because he pays me. We are bound by our veterinary oath. We are professionals, and a group of veterinarians that actually work in the industry have spoken out against both the RSPCA, Animals Alliance, and even the Australian Veterinary Association. And if an industry can do everything asked of it and still be phased out, all of agriculture is now concerned, and all of Australians should be concerned about the process that's been given to the industry in this poor policy.
What about the support package the government's offering for the phase-out to kind of ease the financial pain of it? Does that help?
No, it's completely insulting. And it's, looking at a face value of $107 million might sound like it's a support package. It's not a transition package. It's tokenistic because they've rushed through this bad policy. 40 million of that goes back to the government to do the work that they're already doing. The West Australian government themselves said we needed 128 million a year, not over 5 years. Processing sector has been reported to say they need 400 million to try and increase the supply chain. We don't have the supply chain set up for more processing, and it's not about one or the other. We are an excellent exporting nation of food. We are a food bowl for the world. Live animals are in demand. We can do it the best in the world and keep helping improve. And live and chilled are actually synergistic in Western Australia for managing land, managing risk. And the processing sector actually has been supporting Keep the Sheep because they know to have a strong sheep and wool industry and strong rural towns that keep them going, we need both.
Ali, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.